Hi, this is Dan Lexi from Dan Schultz Outdoors, reminding you to keep the adventures alive. Hey y'all, I'm Johnny.
And I'm Colleen. And we're the Keel Quest. And we want you to keep the adventures alive. Cheers!
Hey, this is Darren from Ride Paddle Repeat, encouraging you to keep the adventures alive.
This is David from Beachley Ironworks saying keep the adventures alive.
Hey, Kevin with an A here. Keep the adventure alive.
Hi, I'm Dan Mayotte. Keep the adventures alive.
Hi, I'm Kevin Callan, the Happy Camper. Remember, keep the adventures alive. Awesome!
Woo, buddy! Shug here! Keep the adventures alive. I am.
Ethan here, the Avid Outdoorsy Guy, reminding you to keep the adventures alive.
We're John and Aaron.
Keep the adventures alive.
Hey everyone, it's Callan from Lure of the North, and I encourage you to keep the adventures alive.
This is Sky North telling you, keep the adventures alive. And now on with the show.
Hey, well, happy Tuesday evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Canoehound's Outdoor Adventure Show, a show that's going to bring you a lot closer to the great outdoors. My name is Dennis, also known as Canoehound, and if this is your first time joining us, thank you very much. But you know what? You're a little late to the parade because this is our last episode here for season 3. But you know what? It's going to be a fun evening nonetheless. We have no real agenda planned for this evening, and we're just going to kind of fly off the cuff and have a few people on here, and I'll put the invite out in a little while for anybody that might want to join us on panel for a little bit. Maybe tell us what you got planned for the summer, things of that sort, or maybe tell us a little story or whatever it might be. You know what? Come on and share a beverage with Canoehound and the rest of the crew here that we're going to be having on tonight. You know what? We're going to be also talking a little bit about some of the milestones that I've actually accomplished this year. Stuff that makes me very proud of the show itself. It's not to toot my own horn, but it's and I'm not tooting my own horn, but you know what? It's one of those things of I've actually accomplished a couple things that, like I say, have made me very proud over the season. And to say the least, I'm also very grateful to those who have helped with this whole opportunity of doing this show, making the show worth running every Tuesday evening for you. You know what? If it weren't for you guys out there that are watching tonight, and those that might be watching after the fact as a replay, there's a reason why I do this. It's because I love doing it, and there's also another reason is because I enjoy the fact that you enjoy all this outdoor community that we've kind of created here. But you know what? Without going on for too much, because I'm putting most of the stuff aside that I usually talk about at the beginning of the show here. But we are going to be starting with me acknowledging my sponsors for the show. Those who add the support for the channel. Those who graciously give to me to be able to give back to you by way of prizes and stuff like that. And they're all companies and businesses that I firmly believe in. Their products are second to none. And yeah, they get it done. They get it done. Some are very small shops and organizations. Some are a little bigger. But bottom line, they are outdoorsy, community-minded, backcountry-minded people that, are producing products for a particular reason or selling products for a particular reason. And yeah, it might be financial gain, but you know what? Ultimately, it all stems back to, the love for the outdoors. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce to you somebody from the Novacraft Canoe Company. This is somebody that I'm always in touch with quite often. Unfortunately, Chris, the owner, could not make it tonight because lucky guy's on holidays right now. So, Chris, if you happen to be watching it sometime, hope you enjoy yourself. Have a margarita for me, okay? Anyways, we have next best in line. We have Sarah from Novacraft Canoes. How you doing, Sarah?
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I'm doing great.
Thanks very much for joining. As I just mentioned a few minutes ago, it really means a lot to have an affiliation with companies that I actually use your products, and it's worth me pushing your products because I know they're good. I know they stand up to the test of time. So Novacraft Canoes is doing things right.
Thanks, Dennis. Thanks for vouching for us.
Yeah. So is there anything new going on with Novacraft? Any new and exciting news these days?
In terms of product, I can't say that there is. We're really focused on building orders. We've had an extremely busy past couple of years with this kind of like outdoor recreation boom that was sparked by the pandemic. So I guess number one focus is building boats and getting them into people's hands so that they can start paddling this season. The other thing that we are super focused on right now is just kind of re-engaging the community. For the past couple of years, we haven't been doing like any kinds of events in the same way that we love to do. So far this spring, we've had awesome experiences at the Backcountry Canoe Symposium. Last weekend or 2 weekends ago, I was at Tori's Paddle Like a Girl workshops. That was amazing. We're sponsoring the Paddling Film Festival this year. So just really trying to get back out and engaging at in-person events with folks in the paddling community. It's been fun.
Cool. Yeah, you know what? Tori Baird is doing some great things these days with the Paddle Like a Girl. And there again, Tori, Jim, Ted, they're all like big advocates of Novacraft Canoe. And there's a reason. You see the stuff that they put their Novacrafts through, and it's amazing that they still float, right? And they do for a reason. Even the one last video series that Jim and Ted had there, I guess Ted really cracked up his boat, and they just patched it up and kept going, right? So
yes, yeah, for sure. No, they put our product through the paces. All of our ambassadors do. So keeping the ambassadors happy with good quality product is a big part of my job, and that's something that's super fun.
Sure. Who else do you have as mainstream ambassadors for Novacraft?
Well, your friend Kevin, who sounds like will be appearing here shortly. The author Adam Schultz does a ton of solo expeditions with our boats. He's on one right now in Quebec. And then the Bairds, as you mentioned. Brad Jennings of Explore the Backcountry and his fiance are doing a ton of tripping in our canoes. I think that's everybody on the official ambassador team, but we might be adding a few more to the team, so stay tuned.
Yeah. And then all of that, I shouldn't say them guys, because there's some women involved there too. Like I said, with Tori, putting the canoes through the paces, and Aaliyah Jennings, right? With Brad out there smashing these big whitewater trips. And yeah, you know what? That's a good crew of people, because they are really showing the worth of a Novacraft canoe and what they can actually, what they can put up with, what they can stand up with.
For sure.
Novacraft's been around since when? Trick question.
1970.
1970. Yeah. I haven't owned one for that long, but I'm on my fourth. Sorry.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for that.
Yeah. And I the one I have now, I was mentioning in the green room, it's mine. Nobody can have it.
Yeah, you have a boat that a lot of people want. They're scarce and they're hard to come by, but they're very popular and very in demand still. So you're lucky.
So just out of curiosity, what is the most popular Novacraft canoe going right now?
Oh, every year it's the same. Every year it's the Prospector 16. That's kind of like the jack of all trades boat, a boat that you can do flat water tripping in, whitewater, river tripping in, something that you can fish from, use solo, use with your family, like load it to the gills with gear. So it performs well in almost like any condition. So I would say that's definitely our most popular. The 15-foot Prospector is kind of like right on its heels for people who do maybe shorter trips or a lot of solo paddling. And then maybe the Bob Special after that.
Sure. Is there a key canoe that you would recommend for somebody like me for solo paddling? Something that's light and airy over the head, no problem. Because I'm getting old now.
We were just chatting about how I got my first canoe from Novacraft this spring, and I ordered a PAL, and that's one that is never really nearing the top of the bestsellers list in terms of the models we offer, but it's really awesome. It's a canoe, actually. John from Lost Lakes paddles a PAL. Bill Mason paddled a PAL as well. And it's 1 inch narrower in the beam than the Bob Special, and it's a foot longer. So it's a 16-foot chestnut design that paddles beautifully solo, but also has, like enough room for doing tripping, mostly kind of like flat water oriented design, but great boat. You can borrow mine.
There, you know what? I might have to do that. I was going to ask how does somebody get an opportunity to try out a Novacraft canoe? Do you have any, like this summer, do you have any scheduled paddle days or anything like that? I know Outdoors Oriented in St. Catharines used to have paddle in the park day, or like a pitch, poke, and paddle, I think they called it years back.
Yeah, we have in the past offered demo style events locally for people to come and try boats. And we've even traveled and done demo days in kind of like other kind of urban centers around Ontario and Quebec. This year, we do have a small demo fleet, and we're just encouraging people to schedule their own kind of demo opportunities. So you can call the shop and let us know what you want to try. We'll try to match you with a boat in our demo fleet, and then you basically have it for a free rental for the day to go to one of the conservation areas nearby or the Thames River in London and give it a try, and then bring it back to us.
Oh boy, that excites me. That excites me. Like I say, I will be coming down this summer and doing a little factory tour. Looking forward to meeting up with Chris. It seems like any of the shows I go to right now, Chris happens to be there, and he always stops by. He's a great guy. Chris is a great guy. I don't think Novacraft canoes could have fallen into better hands than what he's got, with the sale of the business, right? So.
For sure. And it's been a crazy couple of years since he did take ownership of the business. So it's been a really wild ride for him, and he's done really well under that pressure. But I'm also very happy that he is on vacation, because he could definitely use one. A lot of us working in this industry could use one.
Yeah. What's the timing like right now? You mentioned earlier that you were waiting quite a while for your canoe. What's like the general turnaround on a new build now?
If you're ordering direct, we are quoting 8 to 10 weeks, which is not bad, considering where we were last year.
Right. Yeah.
But ordering through distributors, as most of our customers do, is a little bit trickier, because once we receive the order, we can never just ship 1 or 2 canoes. It's super expensive, and there is a big risk for damage. So we have to ship in a pretty large quantity in order to make it make sense for us and for the dealers that we're serving. So unfortunately, getting those larger orders together for shipment does take a bit of time. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who are anxiously waiting for their canoes, and we're doing our best.
Cool. And what's your distribution, or like your footprint as far as sales? Like, where's your furthest distributor that you would have?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. You have a dealer in New Zealand that sells Novacraft canoes?
Yeah, actually, a pretty recent one. So as of last year, we signed a distributor in New Zealand, and they, I think, are just called like Canoe New Zealand or New Zealand Canoe. And they have like about 6 to 8 different locations across the country there. So we are now in New Zealand, which is absolutely crazy. Wow. We also ship small shipments to Japan and a lot to the UK and Europe. So that's
incredible. Heck, I was expecting you just to say like, oh, Winnipeg, Manitoba or something. Wow, you guys have a further outreach than I even imagined. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's a testament once again to the quality of the canoe. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different brands out there, and you guys, for a relatively, well, I don't know. I can't even say relatively small shop because I've never been there. But how big is the shop? Any idea?
In terms of like square footage, I have no idea.
No idea. It's big.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
The guys from KIHD that you'll talk to soon, they visited us last weekend, so they maybe have a better idea of that than I do. Sorry.
Yeah.
But our staff is, because of the demand of the pandemic, our staff has grown significantly. So we're now a team of, I believe, 35. And I've been with the company for like a number of years, and I think the largest we ever got before that was like 22. So significant growth of our team to meet the demand, and that's been very cool.
Well, that's awesome. You know what? Just to let everybody in the chat know, any of the prizes that I've had come from Novacraft for any of the giveaways that we've done and stuff like that have all come through this lovely young lady right here. You know what, Sarah? Thank you very much for the support. The only thing I've got from Novacraft myself is a hat and a shirt. I'm not being paid to promote you guys or push you guys. I do it because, like I say, once again, it's a product that I firmly believe in, and that I know I can trust. And it's a pleasure working with you guys. You guys have been fantastic. You've been awesome, and I truly appreciate the support.
Likewise. Thanks a lot, Dennis.
I know you have a commitment here soon, so I'm going to let you off the hook early. And you know what? We'll be in touch, I'm sure, quite a few times over the summer. So you take care and be safe out there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. You take care. That's awesome. You know what? Like I say, I've first time I've actually seen Sarah face to face is right here on this chat, but we've been back and forth by emails and messages many times. And you know what? She's as pleasant to see in person as she is, over the internet or through the messaging services or whatever. I'm not a high-tech guy when it comes to that stuff. What do I know about this stuff? It's taken me a long time to get to all this stuff here. So yeah. Anyways, the next couple of guys I'm going to have up here on stage are a couple of individuals. They're half the team from KIHD Products, another product that as you know, I push and I speak of often. Once again, these guys are great supporters of the channel, have been for a couple of years now. They've been more than generous with swag giveaways and stuff like that. And the neatest thing about their products, their main core products being their stick stoves and their reflector ovens, is they are made right here in Ontario. All designed by good friend over here, Ingo Hetzer, and Denny. He's the I in KIHD and he's the D in KIHD. So how you doing, fellas?
Very well. How about you? Long time no see, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's a lie, because we went to the day camp on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cut down a tree and ate some steak and had some hot dogs, and it was a good time.
It used the KIHD products. Yeah. We made some cinnamon buns, right?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah, it was one of those days I didn't even have the camera with me. So you guys, you took a lot of pictures for your promotions and stuff. Right?
Yeah, we took some product pictures, but this one was one of those Sundays where we just needed to get away and relax a little bit without.
It was a chillaxing day.
A chillaxing day.
Chillaxing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, did you guys go home with any ticks?
No, we left them there. Like, I didn't want to bring any friends with me.
Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, my day camp is in the old Carolinian forest, right? And it's all hardwood, and there's a lot of brush and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, it's so easy to come out of there with covered in ticks. And I had none. Molly didn't have any either, so that's a good thing.
That's good. Well, and then we saw a coyote, and then.
Oh yeah, the coyote. I forgot about that.
What's neat is that we saw a coyote in the middle of nowhere because it's farmland. And driving to work today in the middle of Oakville, there was a coyote crossing the street in front of me.
Wow!
I was like, wow! I see one of you this weekend, but
they're smelling that cat on you. That's the problem. So they're chasing you down, right? So, guys, what's going on with Kid Products? What's just like I asked Sarah, what's new? What's coming down the pipe for Kid?
What's coming down the pipe? Well, first of all, we've been really busy. The stoves are doing very well. The Kid stoves, right? They selling, and in steel and titanium. And what's the latest now? We have a titanium pot. That's a one.
Let me go full screen on that.
Yeah.
Show and tell.
There's a titanium pot, 1.1 liter. That's very popular. And we also have a smaller one, 750 milliliter. So they're okay. And then of course we have that's basically flying off the shelf is the reflector.
Oh, the reflector. Left is right, right is left, Ingo.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, that one is flying off the shelf. And we have, we're online, a little online shop, but we certainly encourage everybody to see the dealers. There's quite a few stores in Southern Ontario that carry our product now. Novacraft, the London paddle shop, now carries our product as well. So whoever lives in the London area down there, they can stop in there. They are fully stocked with stuff. And and then of course in the St. Catharines area, we have Outdoors Oriented, and of course Algonquin Outfitters, Tomogamy Outfitters, Frontenac Outfitters, and a whole bunch of stuff in between. Algonquin Outfitters, yeah, absolutely. They're doing very well. They're selling a lot of the product, so that's good. And Scout Tech in where are they? In Mississauga, they're doing very well. And so we're busy. This summer we're going to look for some more product, and with us we always test it. We take it out to at least 3 or 4 canoe trips. 4 guys were pretty rough on this stuff, and if it survives 3 or 4 canoe trips, rest assured it'll stand up.
Yeah. So, Denny, tell us. Can you tell us a story? How did Kid Products come about? What's the story behind this?
Because we're getting old and we're tired to carry all those fuel bottles and the Coleman 2-burner stove, and guess who had to carry it? Because I always ended up with the gear bag, and we went out like we've been. Basically, guys, we've been canoeing like for the last 30 years, me and Go and Keith and Elgay, and like we used to go out like with 8-10 fuel bottles, the 2-burner Coleman stove, and then you go out portaging. Well, that bag's not getting any lighter anytime soon, and you always have to bring back those fuel bottles because you still have that. They don't weigh much, but you still have that extra weight. And they're kind of awkward in your bag because when you have to pack it, if you don't pack it properly, it's always like where we got tired of it, and we went around, tried different stove. We tried a competition, see what people had something out in the market. We looked at them, tried them, didn't like them. Was what, we can do better, and we wanted something that was nice and light, and with a very small footprint. Because Earth stove, you can put it anywhere in your side of your pocket or your backpack, in your pockets, in your gear bag, and you can keep it on the outside of the gear bag because you always usually have a small pocket, so your stove's always ready to take out, and you don't have to dig through your gear bag to get your stove out. You just go out, up it goes, and put it back together, make your fire, and you're good to go. But yeah, really, that's the idea of we want to travel light. and cut down on the amount of fuel we brought around. So, and then we came out with the reflector oven. Again, same idea. We wanted something light, so we came out with the aluminum reflector. Folds nice and neat, flat, and it goes right at the back of your backpack. So then when you stack your stuff, your reflector oven is actually protecting your back from anything that might be sharp or pointy, or because you always like, the first day you go, your bag is packed perfectly because you had 3 days to do it at home. But then when you start putting your campsite back together and you throw everything in your bag, well, you end up putting the machete handles poking there, and you're going like, okay, who packed up the bag today? I'm gonna have to kill the son of a bitch.
He's speaking from experience, right?
Absolutely. Or even with the big ass Coleman stove, you had the corner poking one of your kidney because you're going up and somebody packed it halfway down. It's like, yeah, I think that's the Coleman. I'm having a kidney massage right now, and things like that. And that's why, because now we're traveling a lot lighter, and even we dehydrate our own food and everything. So that's the beauty, is that we kind of, our gear bag and everything went down from 85 pounds to almost nothing, because we have the rope, we have the tie boss, and all the gears that we carry, plus the soup, and that's it. And probably they go for 3 or 4 barrels of fuel just in case, and that's about it. Because we always go out in mind of there's an emergency. You always have something to back you up, but really, we're extremely light now, and it's what we like. So yeah.
Now there's several twig stoves out there on the market. Solo stoves, the bush. What was the bush? But no,
the bush box.
They're all different types, right? And yours is a rather unique design. Folds down really, really flat and everything. How did you come up with that concept, Ingo? I know you had a big part in it, obviously being with your trade, but. How'd you come up with that design of the lock?
Well, we as Denny mentioned, we bought the competition because we were not in business, right? We all have our own jobs and so on, and we're just a bunch of guys going canoeing, once, twice, 3 times a year, and we were not into selling gears, right? And as Denny was saying, we wanted to go lighter. We had portages, longer portages, 3 kilometer portages and stuff like that, right? You don't want to lug the big Coleman stove, So anyway, we did buy some of the competition products, and I guess we were a little picky. We didn't like this one, and that one was too small, and that one did the big coffee pot didn't sit on it right. The other one had hinges, and they're rattling, and we're thinking, okay, winter camping, what happens to hinges in the winter? I don't want to sit there and collapse this thing, and forgot it was frozen because we left it overnight at the campsite. And so anyway, and I didn't like the size. They're a little taller and so on. I just said, you know what, I'm going to play with this a little bit because of, I'm by trade, I'm a watchmaker. So I know my way around files and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I just got some metal and, made something, and one thing leads to another, I can put a little lever in here that holds things together, and put some more holes in it. And then, of course, we get together out in the backyard and start making coffee and see how it performs. And then a customer of mine, from my retail store, he's a steel cutter. So anyway, he laser cut a couple of these things for us to go camping. And then, everybody's seen these stoves and, oh, where did you get that one? Because they did look quite professional, right? Mm-hmm. Laser cut and so on. And these ones are our own. They're not for sale. No, we want some. And then, of course, I go back to the cutter and said, can you cut me a couple of more? And they, no, yeah, I mean, that gets way too expensive. You got to come order 10 or 20 or 30 or so. That's how it ended up. We ordered 50 and get a good price and started flogging them, and one thing leads to another, and now everybody wants one. So, which is great. And we weren't really selling them. Everybody wanted one because they do work. We know they work because that's what we use, right? Yeah. And so that's how that came about. And by the way, I just seen on the side here on the one of our guys, Keith is in he's up at Charleston Lake right now. He's trout fishing up there. I just seen he's in the chat on the side there. I guess he's he's having fun up there too.
Lucky guy, huh?
I know.
Yeah. Alan Bierhoff is just asking really quick here. What about a bigger size reflector oven? And he also asked, how about an extra large Dutch oven? Will your stove hold a Dutch oven?
Yeah, the stove will hold a Dutch oven. That's not a problem as long as you got it sitting on something, the stove on something sturdy, so it doesn't sink into the ground, right, on a rock or so. It will hold a Dutch oven. Reflector oven, larger size reflector oven. That reflector oven is pretty big. I mean, it holds a good frying pan, right? It's about 14 inches across and whatever 8 inches, 10 inches deep. 12 inches deep, because it holds one of the frying pans, the camping frying pans, right? No, we're not going to make it any bigger. I think if you go bigger, you might as well take your oven from home.
Right.
Yeah, because it fits like a 4-pound roast beef, and it easily and it doesn't touch the top. But perfect for you don't need really bigger based on what you do. If you do a lot of backcountry, you want still to keep it fairly.
For four people, it's perfect. If you go with 8 people, maybe you want to take a second one.
You just do. Well, yeah, you could take a second one, or you could just do two batches, right?
2 batches, or take a second one. You got enough people to carry stuff, right? Yeah. I mean, if I go by myself or a couple of people, I probably wouldn't, maybe not take a reflector oven, because you do add weight. But if you go with 4 guys, I mean, you divvy up the gear. That's not a problem at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I'm going to share a really quick story with everybody about the kid stove. Last year, Ingo and I, towards the end of the season last year, we did a trip in. Oh, wasn't it? It was in the middle of summer, wasn't it? The Temagami trip.
Yeah, it was in June.
Yeah. So we go on this trip, and we figured we were just going to utilize the kid twig stove for the entire trip. And lo and behold, what do we have? Every single day, and it's something Canoehounds had on almost every single trip that he had last year, was rain, and we're talking a lot of rain. And trying to utilize a twig stove with wet fuel being the twigs all around you, it presented a challenge for us, because we did not bring a gas stove at all, right? So the challenge for us was, how do we keep this thing cooking at nighttime? When we want to have our meal in the morning, when we want our breakfast and our coffee. And we ended up burning all fat wood in this thing for the most part, didn't we? And yeah, everything got black and sooty, but you know what? It worked. And it rained, and we still managed to cook all our meals and our coffee and stuff like that. We found a way, and there's different ways that you can do different things. You just got to come up with some creative measures. And if you watch that video, you'll see we actually utilized it almost like a little campfire underneath our tarp, just to warm the area a bit too, right? Just
warm the area, and we got spoiled too. You found so much fat wood that we didn't even use any other wood. We just kept on going with the fat wood. Yeah. I mean, the fat wood, when we had a good fire going, we could have used some moist sticks or some or whatever wood. But at that point we had so much. We had so much of this stuff, we just kept on burning it, and it was great though. It actually heated up the little shelter tarp we set up as well. It was good.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I firmly say that I really appreciate the relationship that we've had, and the friendship actually, which came about all due to the product that you guys sell. I was looking for a twig stove, met you guys at a show. Bought your product a little skeptically. I bought your product, and I always say that because it's the truth, because I was actually looking for the other one, the firebox I was looking for, and I come across yours, and I settled for the kid stove. And you know what? And I didn't settle. You know what? I actually own two twig stoves now, both kid products. One's a cold rolled, and the other one's a titanium. They both perform equally as well. One's a little lighter than the other. And you know what? Just it's awesome. It's awesome. So I thank you for your products, and for being a small. I'd call you a mom and pop shop, but you're not a mom and pop shop. It's like 4 cool dudes that are doing the right thing. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, and I thank you too for putting on these shows here, and I mean it become a staple in my household. Certainly Tuesday nights, see what's going on at the Canoehound Adventure Show, and always informative. It's wonderful, yeah. And we certainly want to support you in the coming years. Season 4 is coming, I guess.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And and we're going to be part of it again. We'll support you definitely, and products and this and that. And we're going to be going out in the forest too now. We're going to be playing around a little bit in the summer now, and taking it a little easy, and then maybe dream up some more products again for next season.
Randy Greenall's wondering, are you wondering if you're planning a thermal electric power add-on for the stove?
Yeah, well,
there you go, man. There's always something going on.
Okay,
here, right?
So here's the thing about the stove. The stove looks very I don't want to say primitive, but it is very, very basic. Yeah. And there's a reason for that. You can get, you can take out a Ferrari, and there's always something going wrong with this damn thing because it is overdone. Our product is really, it's very basic, but it works. And if something goes wrong with it, you can help yourself because things slide together, things you can make it go, right? And that is the thing. It's a workhorse, and that's what we like. Nothing too fancy. The more fancy gimmicks you got, the more risk it breaks. And our stove doesn't break. Yeah.
No. Well, you know what? It's a good product for me. I enjoy it. Hopefully, all those. I know I've had a lot of people that follow the show here have actually picked up your stoves and reflector ovens, and hopefully they're seeing the same value in it that I do. Just out of curiosity, if you're in the chat there and you have a kid product stove or reflector oven, put a number 1 there. I'm just curious to see how many people out there are enjoying this product. Guys, Ingo, you said that you're supporting next year. Do I need to send you a request letter? Or do I have your confirmation already?
Well, the last letter you sent me, I thought, I'm getting famous. He's sending me letters now. No, you don't have to send me a letter. We're okay. Well, there's some coming up here.
Good, good. Well, you know what? In all honesty, I really appreciate the support that you've given the channel. All the swag that you've donated to prize giveaways and stuff like that goes greatly appreciated. And I'm sure everybody that gets a prize from Kid Products appreciates it as well. Mm-hmm. And even more grateful is the friendship that I've made with all 4 of you guys. You guys are great guys. I look forward to a long relationship with you. And
likewise,
let's keep her going, man. Let's keep her going.
Right. And I would like to say a big thank you to all your viewers too that's been supporting us and buying our product and everything. That's great. And meeting some of them at the outdoor show was fantastic. Karina, Alexis, and Kevin coming over. That was great. And you know what? It's always appreciated. And a big thank you to everybody to help us to grow the business and buy Canadian. Thank you.
Buy Canadian. I like that. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully you stick around, enjoy the show, and we'll chat a little later.
Absolutely.
Sure. Later, Dennis.
Awesome. Have a good night, guys. Awesome. There we go. The guys in Kid Products. You know what? I should have switched out my hat for the Kid Products hat, but you know what? Great products there again. We have 3 more sponsors that I'd like to get through, but 2 of which were unable to make it tonight. So I'm just going to put in a quick little blurb for them before we get on with the final one. Then we're going to get on to a bunch of review of the season, past season 3 here, and some stories, and maybe get a couple of you up on panel with us here, along with our good friend Kevin. One of my regular sponsors is Hunter and Harris Paddles. Those of you that know, I always say, you know what, handcrafted, fine quality, hand strewn canoe paddles made out of cherry wood. Milan is a true artisan when it comes to making his paddles. And when you get one of these babies, I'll tell you, it's going to be so hard to dip it in the water for the first time until you actually start paddling it. He's put a lot of thought into the design of his paddles, which, make them very durable and they got the right flex points and stuff like that for the type of paddles that they are. They're just great paddles. That's Hunter and Harris Paddles. You know what? If you get the opportunity, or if you're ever looking for a paddle, at least look him up and check out and see what he's got, because he does make a really nice paddle. Another sponsor that come on quite late in the season. Hopefully we'll continue on with them, because I do utilize their freeze-dried food, is OTG Meals. Basically, Randy is a chef who prepares small batch meals, and he freeze dries them and packages them. Everything is all certified and all that stuff. He's got like, the certified kitchen and all that stuff. And he, I'll tell you, he puts out some real gourmet meals. It's one of the few freeze dried meal companies that you can actually contact if you have specific meal plans. Say, for instance, you're lactose intolerant, or you're a celiac, or there could be different dietary needs. He will do small batches for you. He prefer to do bigger batches because then he could turn around and sell it. If it's a product or a meal that you particularly like and you'd like him to do for you, he'll do a whole bunch of them, then he'll sell the rest on his website. I've heard many people say that he always says he's sold out on his website. Well, there's a good reason for that, is because his meals are fantastic. All different kinds of things, beef stroganoffs, it just goes. He has so many. The shepherd's pie, and he's got curry dishes and all different types of gourmet, and they're quite filling. If you're a big eater like I am, you will be satisfied with the quantity. And for dessert, wash it down with a bit of freeze-dried ice cream sandwiches, or for a snack, try his freeze-dried dill pickle slices and stuff like that. It's just fantastic stuff. So that's OTG Meals. By all means, please do check them out. Randy, if you're watching, or if you happen to catch the show later on, thanks very much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. And now we're going to move on to the last supporter of the channel, and then we're going to get on with some past episodes with our good friend Kevin Callan. I'm just going to bring you right up here, Nate, our good friend over from Algonquin Outfitters, Nate Muskoka. They've been a supporter of the show now for a couple of years. Been a great relationship. How you doing there, Nate?
Good. How are you, Dennis?
You know what? I'm having a great time already. You know what? It's a lot of fun acknowledging all you people that really help make this show go. So thank you.
Glad we can be a part of it.
Yeah. So what's new? Anything new with Algonquin? I know you guys are probably really ramped up now with the canoe season underway.
Yeah, it's it's getting busy quite quickly. The hot weather we've had up here lately has definitely helped with that, and we're seeing a lot of people heading into the park and heading out other places, and it's great to have a lot more of our American friends back canoe tripping in the park, and we're starting to get some of our European visitors back as well. So that's heading into the park, which is great to see.
Kind of nice when things have started opening up again, right? I think it was around this time last year. Weren't they still threatening the parks with being closed and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, it wasn't the Tuesday after the May long weekend was actually our first day with the doors back up and after curbside. So things are sort of speeding up really quickly. And of course, this time last year, we were just sort of opening up again. So it's, we've had more time to gain that momentum going into the season, and people have had a bit more time to make some plans and maybe travel a little further than they were.
Mm-hmm. So tell everybody that might not be aware of Algonquin Outfitters. You're more than just an outfitting store. What type of things does Algonquin Outfitters offer?
Oh boy, well, we're a multi.
It's a long list, right?
It's a long list. We have a lot of locations, and all the locations do different things. So what most people watching this show are probably interested in is our locations in the park or close to the park, and for that, of course, we have a location in Brent on Cedar Lake, and that's our northernmost location, Algonquin Park, and they do canoe rentals and some light equipment rentals. And then of course we have our big spot on Lake Opeongo there with the water taxis, and they're already busy booking water taxis and renting canoes and kayaks and that kind of thing right on the water on Opeongo. And then we have our Lake of Two Rivers location. And I sort of jokingly refer to it as the Quickie Mart of Algonquin Park, because it's sort of got a little bit of everything there. And of course, they're maybe best known right now for the restaurant, and the restaurant just keeps getting busier and busier there. And then we have our foundation location, or our legacy location on Oxtongue Lake, just before the west gate of the park. And that location has been there offering retail and outfitting and rentals since 1961.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And you guys, well, you're at the Huntsville location, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Is there any particular location that's like hands above the rest as far as being busy? Like maybe your location because of your location?
Yeah, location is everything that way. So our Oxon Lake location offers the most sort of rental inventory. So in terms of rentals and outfitting, they're by far the busiest. They have a huge fleet of canoes that's constantly on the move. And as far as general retail and rental combined, it's definitely Huntsville.
Cool. So is there anything new coming down the pipe for Algonquin Outfitters at all? Any news to share or anything like that?
We're working on a few really cool initiatives with a local Indigenous community, but we're sort of waiting on some things to fall in place for that. So hopefully there'll be some details provided in the coming month. Fingers crossed. We're hosting the Real Paddling Festival, the Paddling Film Festival, at the Algonquin Theater next week. So that's always a cool one. That draws a lot of the local paddling community to the Algonquin Theater, which is right downtown, almost right across from the Huntsville store. That's always a good night. I think that's June 2nd or 3rd, so it's coming right up. And I think, overall, we're just sort of doing the best we can to tweak and improve things going into this season to make our product offering and the services we offer better for the customers that we're getting. Because there's always room to improve, and it just seems to be sort of getting busier and busier. So we're doing our best to try to stay on top of that to, serve everybody the best we can.
So just out of curiosity, now you have Algonquin Outfitters has a lot of staff, given all the stores that you have and stuff like that. And it seems like anytime I've ever gone into any of the locations, your staff knows their stuff. What goes in behind that, the knowledge base that your employees have?
Well, I think we're really fortunate to draw people that are genuinely interested in the outdoors, and so that always helps, because if you're genuinely interested in it and it's part of your lifestyle or how you recreate, then you're gonna wanna know about it, and knowing about it then just makes you better at doing your job. And if you're passionate about the outdoors and outdoors equipment, then you're more enthusiastic about sort of diving into that world to better be able to offer that knowledge back to our customers. So we're really fortunate to have a lot of staff that are that genuinely love the outdoors, and whether that's mountain biking or canoe tripping or backpacking, or paddleboarding or whatever, we're really lucky to have staff that genuinely use the product that we sell and are passionate about the world of the outdoors. And everybody knows that the labor market is a little short these days, but we've been really fortunate to sort of attract and keep people that want to be around and are able to make a go of it here in Muskoka and surrounding areas.
Sure, and you treat your employees right, and they'll treat you right. Yeah. So now Algonquin Outfitters has quite the steep history with Algonquin as well. You guys, I was really promoting the 60 years in business. Well, it's right here on my shirt. Right there. 60 years in business. Well, 61 now. You're in your 61st year, right? Yeah. A little history on Algonquin Outfitters.
Yeah, sure. I'll do my best. Rich Swift, the current owner, his father started the Outfitters with a couple partners back in 1961 on some property that they were able to buy in Dwight. Before that, he had done outfitting and guiding with Camp Pathfinder, which is a renowned youth camp in Algonquin Park. And so he had a lot of history, paddling, guiding, that kind of thing in Algonquin Park before he started up the Outfitters with a couple partners. Over the course of time, he sort of bought those partners out as they became interested in doing other things, and then carried on the business based in Dwight, and then was able to expand on it as his son slowly came to take it over with the other locations in the park and elsewhere, like Huntsville, for instance, and now Halliburton, Bracebridge, Port Carling, Minden, etc.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. It's so neat, and that's one of the cool things about it is that steep history that really just lends to the business itself too. Makes you feel like you're part of Algonquin when you go actually buy anything from Algonquin Outfitters, right? Just the name and the history and the whole 9 yards, right? So
and it can be sort of intimidating depending on the location you work at, because there's people walking through the door that have a really, really long history with the Outfitters and with Algonquin Park, and it's always cool to be able to meet those people and learn from them, because they'll have a story, whether it's from, I worked for the Outfitters 20 years ago or 30 years ago, or, I used to guide with Old Man Swifty and this and that. It's crazy how that history develops into, people returning and offering their own stories back to the current employees. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's neat. How does it make you feel to be an employee of? This is the loaded question. How does it make you feel to be an employee for Algonquin Outfitters, and how long have you been with them?
This will be going into my 8th year. Actually, this month will be going into year number 8. It's sort of gone by in the blink of an eye, and yeah, you know what? It's a great company to work for, and it's really cool to have a company like that, as old as it is, that's still family owned. And we're lucky that, Rich genuinely cares about the company. Rich still drives around and works 5 days a week, and genuinely has a passion for canoe tripping and for Algonquin Outfitters. So it's great to have that. The last couple of years, I think anybody that's worked in retail can tell you the last couple of years have not been easy ones in the retail world. So we're just trying to sort of regroup and get on a good positive footing going into this coming season. And right now my job is to basically line up all the ducks going into June and July and make sure that we have the people what they need, doing what we need them to do, and the product that we need for the Huntsville store and the other stores as well.
Sure. And quick question too about timing. A lot of people do rent equipment off you because you do like pretty much full outfitting if a person needs that.
Yep.
What type of timeline should people be doing or keeping in mind when it comes to wanting to rent canoes or kayaks or equipment for their canoe trips?
Yeah, I think as soon as you're able to make that reservation for wherever you're going, that's when you should be reserving the equipment that you need. And just getting right on top of it. You just don't want to be and especially some of the more underserved or harder to get to access points. You're going to need to book further ahead in advance for the equipment you need if you're reaching those access points, because there's less, there's less outfitters and less rental operations that are servicing those, and there's more pressure being put on those other access points. Because people that are going into Algonquin specifically are sort of branching out off of the Highway 60 corridor and starting to explore, the Magnetawans and the Rain Lakes and the Brents, the Cedar Lake access points, and those access points, they just don't have the amount of services that you would normally find along Highway 60. So it's important to really organize yourself if you're heading up to one of those this summer. Because we're starting to see more and more people exploring those access points, which is great. I think it's great for people to get off the Highway 60 corridor and really do some exploring and enjoy the rest of what the park has to offer.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, you know what? I truly appreciate all the support that you guys have given over the time. We had Rich on the show last year at one point there, and we did a show on basically the sort of the Algonquin Outfitters, the history of Algonquin Outfitters in Algonquin Park, and Rich was a big part of the show as well. And if you do see him, I don't have his email. If I did have it, I would certainly reach out to him. So maybe I'll grab that off you just to thank him for the support that you guys have offered us over the last couple of years. You guys have been great supporters. There again, happy to make your friendship as well. We've met several times at the Huntsville store. As a matter of fact, I might be popping down to see you on Monday if you're around. But
perfect. I might be around on Monday. Yeah, just shoot me a text. It'd be good to see you again. And I'm sure Rich will appreciate the email, and we're happy we can be a part of this. And it's what you have going here, Dennis. It's a fantastic part of the outdoor community, and it's truly of value.
Thank you, Nate. Appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. If you have the opportunity later and you want to pop into the green room, keep the link. and pop on in there because, like I said, I am coming your way, and I wanted to chat to you about something. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now that I'm done working on my sunburn for the day, I'll
I seen all your Instagram posts there. It looks like you had a good day.
Yeah, I've had a good couple of days. It's just the 30 degrees and sun. All of a sudden, it's it takes a little getting used to.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Well, get some aloe vera on there and slather up, and we'll talk to you in a little while, man. Thanks very much once again from Algonquin Outfitters. And you know what? I do have Randy Mitson's email though, but I will be contacting him, even though he's moved on. But still, he was a great contact to have there at Algonquin. Yeah. So, buddy, we'll talk to you in a while, and enjoy the rest of the show.
You got it. Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks, Nate. There we have it, people. Okay, so now we got the acknowledgments out of the way. You know what? I couldn't be supported by five greater companies. It could be 6 or 7 if you know anybody else that wants to come on board. But you know what? All these companies, very, very reputable in the outdoor community. They do it because they love the outdoors as well. So by all means, if you have any opportunity to support any of our channel sponsors or supporters, please do. Their links are all in the description below. By all means, check them out. Some have online retail stores and stuff like that where you can actually shop. Buy the good stuff. Don't buy the Chinese stuff. Oh, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean it that way. Don't buy the foreign stuff. Buy the Canadian-made stuff. Buy the stuff that's backed by some reputable Canadian businesses. So that's a good thing. You know what? Let's move on with the second half of the show. Let's get into some review of this whole past season, which has been a fantastic season. And I'm going to be joined by somebody who, well, you guys all know who he is. And of course, you know, he also comes with his very own introduction.
Hi, I'm Kevin Callan, the Happy Camper. Woo! Yes, I'm Apostle number 14. Well, if you visited me instead, you would have been fine. It's a one sexy beast, I'm telling you. I called you poopy pants. Sorry about that.
Did you really?
I will hold in my urine for you, Dennis.
You have to remind Kevin that this is a family show.
What about the chipmunks? Awesome.
Kevin Callan. Oh, look, the tie guy. He's the tie guy. Oh, you're muted, Kevin.
How's that?
That's a lot better now.
It's great. Okay. Do you know how to tie a tie?
I do know how to tie a tie.
Okay.
But I don't do it very often because I'm not a tie guy.
If you're past age 3, you don't. So flip it.
Yeah.
Right. Here we go. Okay. Then tuck it. Or get a clip on. There we go.
Close up. There we go. How many ties you got? You got about 5 or 6 ties.
I really didn't know what. I wasn't sure what to wear for this big event.
I know.
And so I just I got lots of ties. I don't know which one to wear.
And your John Denver hat.
Hey, look, John Denver is fantastic, but this is my hat.
Okay. Well, hey.
I bought this off a guy downtown Toronto 30 years ago. I said, I want your hat. How much? $30. $30. Oh, my Lord. All right. So we got to make it quick. I'm working tonight. I got things to do. You've got things to do. This is a big celebration. So I made a list. I made a list of all the things that happened to you this year.
Oh, boy.
That were, but like I thought were like, wow, and then didn't happen. And others that, wow, didn't think that would happen. So can you tell everybody, I'm not sure if you know this, what was the #1 show with the top numbers, the views? Go.
Oh boy, can I make you blush?
No, it wasn't. No,
the Kevin Callan Celebrity Birthday Roast was the highest rated show, I believe, number wise. And then I believe the second after that was the Baird Brothers, and then I think after that was Survivor Man.
That wasn't this year, though. That wasn't this year.
What? Yes, it was. Yeah, season 3 was the Kevin Callan birthday.
Was it really?
Roast.
Oh, because I got Chaga. I got Chaga being the #1.
Really?
Yeah, 2.8 thousand views.
Holy. Okay.
Chaga.
Well, you know what? I must have overlooked that one. Where were you?
Well, you're not doing your job, Dennis. I'm just saying. But Chaga won a fun guy growing on a tree. Won over like everybody else.
28-33. You're right. You are right.
Wow.
If I go views, if I go in order of views, but from season 3, right? Yeah, because if I go from views, it's all mixed in there, right?
Yeah. No, it's all it's really interesting. I looked at this today. So ones that I really enjoyed that didn't get the view count that I'm thinking, what's wrong with YouTube? What is going on? Ray Goodwin, Camping with the Coles, Ken from Palo TV, River Kings, nothing. But really, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think it's one of those things where people like to watch who they see on a regular basis, right? River Kings, great guys, great crew of guys. Pete and he's got great video editing techniques, but you know what? They're from South Carolina, so maybe they're not getting as much views up here because I find YouTube kind of puts like circles, right? And the circles interlap in certain spots. It's almost like the Olympic rings, right, where they intersect.
Yeah,
and that's where your intersection comes. So that's where your crossover into these different genres or different clusters of people, right?
Yeah, you never understand it, to be quite honest. I mean, my latest one when I went with my buddies in the Algonquin spring trip, like it gets a good video. Like I actually well shot, whatever. This is fantastic. But oh my god, like 8,000 views in 2 days. What the living god? Why?
I know,
right? You never know. The 100th episode, it got good attention.
It did, yes.
Yeah.
And that's due in part to the people over there in that chat. You know, I guess they realized that it was a big milestone for the show. And the fact that they all tune into it, because who would watch it unless they don't really watch the show? Like big whoop-de-doo, 100th episode, right? But that's all them over there in that chat.
Well,
you know,
it kind of proved
I give kudos. It's such an honor, you know, in all honesty. Like in your case, you're honored to have people buy your books. Me, I'm honored to have people spend a Tuesday evening with me. Like to me, it's not a given. It's a privilege to have the ability to have people watching me. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So
yeah, because if you think about your show, going back to history, you actually had a YouTube show, and when I first met you, you were doing trips and doing techniques, which you still do. You still do. But it was when you started doing the Tuesday night chats, which I'm not sure where that came from. Maybe we should get into that. But all of a sudden, your whole channel got more interest. And even though you probably put more energy into your trip videos and everything else, this Tuesday night thing gets more interest. Yeah. So what did you have an epiphany one night? Did you wake up and your wife looked at you? Are you okay? Oh, I have an idea. Tuesday nights, I'm going to do a talk show.
You know, how it started. I was if you look way back, and please don't go back and watch my first 4 or 5 videos, because one of them is even like 5 hours. I used to hang out with a bunch of different people on YouTube in these chat sessions, right? And you remember Sty North?
It's funny, like, oh, Angel, calm down.
So the one Sty was one of the older generation bushcrafters that I used to chat with on live streams here on his shows and stuff like that. And I always said, I would love to do an interview segment that would be talking to the YouTubers I enjoy watching. At the time I was watching Sean James and Joe Robinette and the Bairds and Linker and Matty the Goose and all these different YouTubers. And I always thought it'd be really, really cool to get them on something like this here. And if I'm interested in it, maybe some other people would be interested in it as well, right? And then I at the time, I was maybe 5 or 6 episodes in, because it wasn't, if I go by dates and I look by dates, I just got my stats up here right now, kind of. And I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 episodes in, I go, there's this guy that I read all his guidebooks, and I would love to have Kevin Callan on the show. Seriously. And I think you were back like really early. You were like, the 7th episode or something like that.
Yeah, well, because it took a while for my agent.
On this.
Oh no, it took a while for my agent to get back to you.
Yeah. I can't remember if I met you at the Toronto Outdoor Adventure Show first, or was it after? No, I think I met you at the Outdoor Adventure Show first.
Yeah, I knew of your show before I saw you at the Outdoor Adventure show. So when you came up to me, I knew of you. That's why I called you. Oh, another YouTuber.
Yeah,
but
well,
I didn't really know. But I don't think at that time you had the Tuesday night show. I remember.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, Kevin Callan. I had you on November 12th, 2019.
I think at that time you were doing porn.
Boom chickawawa. No porn for this guy. No. I'm not even going there. Carry on.
Okay, all right. So your Chaga one was number one for hits, but you also had the 10th annual Backcountry Symposium, which is a good hit. So organically, I think that was a higher one, even though for numbers it wasn't. But you also had the Northern Scavengers on recently, which was really good.
Twice. They've been on the show twice.
Yeah, it was really cool. I noticed that I had them on my show first.
You always beat me to the punch, man. Then I got to wait like 3 weeks. It's like you're a mind reader, dude.
I'm just good at what I do. Yeah. And the one that was really good, that really didn't get a lot of views too, was the Backcountry Food Dehydrating one, and also the trip planning one. Well, you know what? They did really well for views, but it was the same crew. It wasn't new crew, right? So I found that interesting. But also, what the paddling icons was awkward. That one on stage.
You know what? That there, I have that listed here as one of my. Well, you know what? Here we go. Kevin Callan. So, right. Oh yeah, as one of my milestones. I did a couple categories of like some of my bigger shows in the season, right? Not bigger by numbers, but like just by the guests and stuff that I had and topics. And then, believe it or not, that was my first time I ever did a live in front of an audience presentation for Canoehound Adventures. Period.
Oh my Lord! Oh yeah.
So
sorry.
To me, that was a milestone to have both you and Hap Wilson on stage at the same time, and that doesn't happen often. You're both paddling icons, legends, whatever you want to call yous. You're influencers to the max when it comes to this type of thing. So,
well, it's really funny. I'm in the background. It sounds like a red-green background. I got the chainsaw. I got the lawnmower. I got a jet ski going across here.
Can't even hear it. I can't.
No, you can't?
I can't hear it. I got I keep my volume low so I don't get any feedback.
Okay, I got mosquitoes coming around me now too. But what's really cool about that, it was that we were able to do that on stage and connect it to social media. If you think back 10 years, 20 years, especially, all those shows that Hap and I went to, we gave a slide presentation, we went home. But now it's like, no, we go on stage and we have someone do a social media event where it now can be taped and then shown to others after the fact. Do you think actually the live shows and things like that, the outdoor shows and stuff that are going to die? Because in one sense, who has to go there if we can just watch it on your show?
You know what? I hope not. I don't think it will, because I think for our type of community, we are hands-on. We like to get out there. We're touchy-feely when it comes to our gear and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You could look at stuff online and not get the full concept of what it looks like. But if you can go to the outdoor show and you could go to Eureka and check out that El Capitan or whatever, you know, the bug-free zone, or if you can go to, you know, the canoe dealer and actually check out the canoe and touch it and go, wow, man, look at the trim on this and stuff, right? Or sleeping bags and whatever it might be, you know, maybe your John Denver hats that you might find for your canoe trips or whatever it might be. You know what I mean? I think we're hands-on, the outdoor community, for the most part. Let's put it to them. Who would enjoy going to a show over shopping online? Put a 1 in the chat. I bet you there's going to be a lot of ones.
Here, I'll throw something into this vote too. What I found at the Outdoor Adventure Show this year, in a good way, not a bad way, a really good way, was actually a social media love fest. People just wanted to get together because they haven't got together physically for quite a while. Maybe next year that won't be the thing. I don't know. I have no idea. But I do know that actually half those people, in fact, I would say more than half the people in the audiences, watching you present, myself present, Hal present, everybody present.
Yeah.
We're actually just fans of the social media YouTube people.
Yeah.
You think?
Well, it's the influencer thing, right? With Camper Christina being there on stage and stuff like that, like the ones who have this presence on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter even now. You know what? I love your dads, Kevin.
They're bad here. I don't know about you guys, but mosquitoes are bad right now.
Mosquitoes aren't bad here, man. It's we're in a bug-free zone here. So, but no, you know what? I think as influencers, it helps to attract that, and I think that's what them outdoor shows really hope for too. Is that they're going to give you presentation time, hoping that you're going to bring in a draw of people, right? It's like the garage band playing at the local bar. Right, and 90% of the people in there watching are their friends and family. Type of deal.
Yeah,
well, you're a drummer. You're a former. Well, you're still a musician, but it's the same type of thing, right? Who comes to see you but your friends and family? Because we're not Motley Crue or Loverboy as or John Denver. So it's one of those things. Right? So.
No, for presenters, I would say, I can't speak for everyone, but that was a big leap for us. That was the first show that I went on stage after 2.5 years for COVID. And to be quite honest, you get into a hermit-like stage. I was doing my performances online all over the United States, UK, Canada, across Canada, and I didn't have to travel. Like in the past, I would do 45 plus shows every from February to June, and I would be flying to the United States, to across Canada, to the UK, doing all those shows. I did the same thing, sitting there with my backdrop, right? But when I stepped up on that stage and started presenting, you can't take that back, right? And I think the audience knows that too, where it's real. What was really cool is right after that, I went and did the museum thing where the John Denver band played for me. That was awesome. But then right after that, I went to Whitney, the small town in Algonquin, and I performed. That was the third show I did. So the third night of that tour, I went to Whitney in Algonquin and performed in their local library. A bunch of locals. There was probably maybe 30 people there. There probably maybe more, but that was probably one of my biggest events of the year.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about Algonquin to people that live there, and I made them laugh and giggle. They loved it. And it humbled me beyond belief. It was actually great. And you can't get that from a online performance.
Let me ask you, did you miss not being, or did you miss being in front of a live audience like over this last 2 years with the pandemic? Like, was it something that you go, man, I wish I could have gone to this show, or I wish I could have done that show? Or is it like, it's kind of nice not having to go?
It's not the performance. I really I've always enjoyed the performance. It's the travel.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, for me to go to Canoecopia, really you think about it. Like I would leave after my job. I teach part-time at a college, right? So I would teach, get to an airplane, and it's not a straight flight. I would get there, whatever, I don't know how, like a half a day later. I'd get find a place to stay. I would do, I don't know how many presentations in front of hundreds of people, and then I would leave, like literally run to the airport, get home, and 2 hours later my alarm went off and I'd have to teach again at 8 a.m. What did I like? I liked being on stage and actually talking to people, shaking hands, hugging people, communicating with them about their trips and everything else. The other stuff, no. But
yeah,
anybody that has that job, they would say the same thing. Like it's like hurry and wait. My daughter has, well, no longer. She's 17, going on 18, whatever. She doesn't do anything with that anymore. But she used to travel with me, and she goes, Dad, that's all this is hurry and wait. But then when she was on stage with me, she was pumped afterwards. Oh, these people are amazing. This is fantastic. And I go, yeah, we're on again in another hour. Oh!
I got a comment on something too. You had your Instagram and Facebook post there where I guess you were at a wedding this past weekend, and you said you and Kyla like cut a rug all night. You guys were up dancing all night, and I know exactly how you feel because anytime we go to weddings or the Christmas party for the company or anything like that, and my daughters and I are up on the floor dancing constantly. Like we have such a good time. So it's that father-daughter thing, right? Where you just get out there because you don't get to do it often. So it makes it so much more fun, right?
Well, especially after 2.5 years of not doing it, right? I mean, and you have to know my family. You and I have talked about this before. I'm the calm, cool collective of the family. And even though everybody thinks that's a joke, it's not. You talk to my daughter. She'll tell you. Christine didn't believe it. My partner and Kyla on the way there, Dad's telling the truth. They're 10 times hyper than I am. So you imagine a wedding. And imagine a wedding that nobody's been together for almost 3 years, right? And imagine, and my sister and I, Michelle, my younger sister, well, my sister 2 years older than me, her and I have won disco dancing awards. So when we get on the dance floor, it's like Footloose, and we're like, oh my Lord. And Christine's like, who are you? And I think it's really good. It proves that the human species is a social being. I really like. I would love to be a hermit, and I've talked to many hermits, and I think they're fantastic people. They chose to be on their own, but the majority of human beings have to be part of the tribe, and if they're not part of a tribe, they don't feel as good as they should be about themselves. So when you do things like weddings, even funerals or whatever, or even the Tuesday night gatherings on the Dennis show, it proves that we all are a community. So, Dennis is gone. He's gone. Dennis. Oh, you're pulling a Camper Christine on me. I'm going to have to take care of the show right now. I was going to leave. I had to work tonight. Okay. All right. Well, Dennis is not there anymore. I will check to see where he is. But let's get some people. Well, actually, you know what? Nobody can join in because he's not there. Hello? All right. So let's go over Dennis's shows that he did this year. So we got Camping with Coles, Trip Planning, Ray Goodwin, which I really enjoyed. Great guy. Tripped in with him many times. He's what we call the Bill Mason of the UK world. Wow. Excuse me. Sleeping warm while winter camping or just camping. That was really well accepted. People love that. We got Ken from the Palo TV. Actually, I think that got the lowest rating, to be quite honest. And even though he's the guy that's on TV, maybe that shows what's going on. Maybe there's more social media. In fact, to be quite honest, I don't watch TV. I don't even know how the TV works. I just watch YouTube and all the other Prime and all the other shows. We got the River Kings, which is great. I think that's a really good show because it brought us outside the box. Who are these people? What's going on? They're not in our region, which I think is great, right? We got the 100th episode, which is fantastic because I can't believe he lasted 100 episodes. My God, if it wasn't for me coming in on every single week. Kevin, what are you doing, Kevin? Can you join? Oh, here we are. And the Chaga was the number one, which is really interesting, but I think that's a whole connection to YouTube and what they think is interesting, what people find interesting. Oh, he's coming on. Okay, don't talk about him, everybody. Quit talking about him. And we got the there he is.
Whole neighborhood.
Oh, he's outside. No, he's gone. Once again, I'm helping him out. Oh, my Lord, Dennis, is it your show or what? Come on. Should we do the Dennis / Kevin? Maybe if he shows up, show. I don't know. We got the.
Can you hear me, Kevin?
Just a little bit. We're losing you.
Sorry, you know what? My power went out.
Really?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood's dead.
What? You have the worst luck in the world, man. Oh, okay. Okay, his power's gone out. I don't think anybody can join talking right now because I'm on and he's not. Oh gosh. I'll just go over a few more things to see if he can come in, and then we'll see what happens. Paddling on cons, which was fantastic. I was so humbled to be on the stage with actually Hap. To be quite honest, he was the paddling icon. I was not. I looked up to Hap for, well, I still do. He's still around for many years. Oh, he's coming back again. Oh,
Here I am.
Really?
Okay. So sorry about that, everybody. So here I am at the front of my house now. Oh yeah.
That was tough.
We'll go this view. Yeah. So where do we leave off, Kevin?
I went over some random things. I'm not sure. I said good things about you and then some bad things. But you need to get more people on because people don't want to hear me all the time. We need more people. I need to go to work, get things done. And so who else is there? Come on.
Well, you know what? Let's see. I don't even know if I could see here. Let's see. I do. I got somebody in the basement. You want to bring them up? Let's see here.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. The more the better, right? Add to the stream. I've never done this through my cell phone before, so.
Hey, it worked.
Have I? How you doing there, Rob?
I'm good. I was worried about internet.
You know what? It's funny because half of Welland was out today, and now for some reason my neighborhood is out. I guess too much demand on the power grid, right? So.
All we've had is storms off and on all day. I'm on the North Shore of Superior.
Oh wow! Wow.
No, there's no storms on the North Shore of Superior.
No, never. Calm water. The lake is like glass all the time.
Oh, it's very calm.
Yeah.
So for those of you that may remember, now this is going back quite a while. I had a show on mishaps in the backcountry, and this gentleman Rob here had a real mishap in the backcountry. What can you tell us about that? Refresh our memories, Rob.
Oh, it was just a little heart attack. I was about 3/4 of the way across the portage into Happy Island, Algonquin. And to make a long story short, I thought I was out of shape. Well, apparently I was. But I ended up having a small heart attack and I blacked out on the side of the trail. Yeah, Kevin, that was me. Came to, managed to get to Happy Isle, spent 2 days sort of getting myself back together, got across the portage, flagged down a water taxi that happened to have an ER doctor and a GP from Picton on it. And probably one of the fastest water taxi rides I've ever had down the lake. And longer story short, ended up in an ambulance, lights and sirens into Barry's Bay for the night. But yeah, not how I saw that trip ended.
No, I guess not. Eh? And how are you doing these days? Are you pretty well recovered?
Actually, the cardiologist signed me off about 2 months ago, actually. So good, some major lifestyle. Go ahead, Kevin.
Rob, so what you've done is you've created something that all paddlers have, especially when they get older. When you're on a really, really long portage and you're with other people that have never been on that long portage, they're cursing and swearing and they're like, I'll never do this again. And then you look at them and it's like, well, I remember, because you always have one that's worse than the others.
Yeah.
And what you have is, well, I almost died on a canoe trip from a heart attack. Shut the hell up.
I guess I should mention, I was also solo. I was by myself.
Oh. Okay, that's not good, Rob. But you survived.
No, it wasn't actually. Well, like I said, I blacked out. I remember dropping. And when I came to, we pretty much accepted my heart was in defib. And I induced coughing, and that seemed to bring it around. But I still had no idea when I came to which way was Happy Isle and which way was Opiongo. So one of the few times, yeah, I was a little disoriented.
So, well, I've been in really good health, and I've done the same. So
yeah, well, it's not the first time I've got lost in the bush either. But no, things are better. We moved north, and this summer I'm looking at maybe the Pick River.
Yeah. So you were mentioning that to me by email. So tell us a bit about these plans.
Well, it's just like I said, I'm pretty much midway between Thunder Bay and Sault Ste. Marie now. I'm a 45 Nice shot, Kevin. I'm about a 45-minute drive from Pockesaw, from the main gate. So I've got all these areas in around here, and John's videos and a couple of local guys up here. And I figured what a great way to get to know the land a little bit. Then run down the Pick River to Superior. So
that'd be a good trip. Yeah.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
never been that area, so that might be a bucket list thing for me.
Really?
Whoa. Hold on here. You've never been to Superior?
No, you know what? I'm not like you, Kevin. I don't paddle for a living.
Well, I just thought you were a real man, but
There we go again. I guess not. I got to start wearing a skirt because I've never caught a brook trout either.
I'm just joking about that. I sorry, but if you need to get your significant other and you up there and your family up to Superior, you will just your jaw will drop and it will never lift up.
I've been, but I've never been up there for paddling. It's been like the cross Canada trip where driving across, right? But
yeah. You get into Superior on the rolling waves. I'm not talking about the breakers, the rolling waves and the cold and the cliffs and the fog and the wildlife and just you're doing water walker. You're Bill Mason water walker right there, and it's fantastic. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, did you see last week? I had a cool post. I had my mom and dad watching Water Walker and Path of the Paddle.
Yeah.
And my mom was right in there. She goes, "That guy is so strong."
He actually was. He really was. He was a short guy, but he had a good build. Yeah. Jeez, I see the numbers are growing here for viewers. Just so everybody knows, I'm broadcasting from my front porch right now on my cell phone because the power is out in my town, so or at least in my neighborhood. So yeah, we got this for now. Just out of curiosity, Kevin, did you want to hear some of my milestones that I'm really proud of this year? Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I had that written. Dennis, tell us some of your milestones. Go ahead.
You know what? This year we managed to hit finally 5,000 subscribers after 3 years. Well, 3 years of being back and more steady into YouTube. We're sitting around 5,400, somewhere around there now. So the numbers are continuing to grow. Thank you very much, everybody. I mentioned earlier I did my first the first live presentation with you and Hap up on stage, which was a milestone for me, big time. 100.
I love the moment. I love the moment when you have no idea what you said when you said it.
Which
audience, listen to this. Sorry, I forgot or digress, whatever. But when Hap was, and he's a very passionate person. He's done amazing things. He's very political. He's changed himself up to a bulldozer. He's done all those things to save the wilderness. The whole thing that I actually completely admire. Not me. I mean, that's not what I do. I do other things. I'm a happy camper. And him and I are on stage, and he's talking about this. And Dennis said, can we be less political and just have some fun? And I think Hap was going to slit your throat, man.
I thought you were going to fall off the chair when I said that. You almost fell off your chair. If anybody doesn't believe me, go back and watch, and you'll see Hap Wilson or Kevin Callan almost fall off his chair.
Well, because I know Hap. I've known him for years. I know it. What creates his passion. And he looked at me. He goes, "Who's this guy?"
Oops.
I loved it. I love our community. I'm doing this in jest, whatever, but I love the community because we can talk about that. We can actually say, well, he does this, you do yours, I do me, Rob does his thing, right? And but it was that one moment where I'm old enough to say, I know happened. Oh, Canoehound, this is going to be interesting.
You know what? It was interesting. It was, like I say, it was, to me, that was kind of a thrill of a lifetime. I have a picture that I believe your significant other, Christine, had taken of you and Hap Wilson from probably the previous Toronto Outdoor Adventure show. And you guys were sitting in a Eureka booth, just, sitting there shooting the shit. And I asked her if I could have a picture of that. And I was going to get you guys to sign that when I come to the show, and I forgot it at home. It's man. Son of a gun, because it's like I say, it's not too often aside from the shows that you would see both of you two, let alone on stage, but just together at the same place,
Well, we've all done that though throughout the shows. So if anybody out there that doesn't know that, it's a progression. So right now there's a lot of newcomers that we're all connecting, and it's great. But in the old days too, when Kirk Whipper died and we all went to the funeral, everybody went to stay at my place, and it was great. There was Becky Mason, Reed, her husband. There was Max Finkelstein. There was like Hap, like there was everybody that were staying in my place, but I had to work in the morning. I had to teach a course at 8 in the morning, and I go, guys, you can drink all you want, but I'm going to sleep. And sure enough, Reed, Becky's husband, he's the most incredible person in the world, but practical jokes, oh my God. So magic marker mustache on my face that you can't erase for like 3 days, right? So I taught that course that day, right? And try to explain to those people, oh, so sorry, but a whole bunch of renowned paddlers stayed at my place after a funeral. This is why. But I loved it. Just absolutely loved it.
Yeah. By the way, Rob, I just clued in. Nice tie, man.
Oh, well, Kevin.
I got more. Wait a minute.
I'm the only one that's underdressed here. What the heck, man?
I'm lucky I could find one.
Same here. I'm not a suit and tie guy.
But Kevin, I remembered how to tie it.
Well, you and I are the age where we know how to tie. I don't think people. Yeah. I sound like an old man, but the
Thanks
truth
a
is,
lot.
well, we are old.
No, it's true.
Older, we're wiser, but no, one of the first things my dad taught me is how to tie a tie, and also how to drive a standard.
Well, I still drive a standard, so.
Yeah. So I remember the day when he taught me how to drive a stick, right? And I was only 14.
Well, I was 15, and I was taught standard in a 13-speed Road Ranger and a tractor trailer.
Well, that's true.
I got a crash course.
Yeah, I did learn how to drive a stick when I'm driving the tractor doing hay bales when I was 15. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, this was a Ford Cowboy with 45,000 pounds in the trailer.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, so basically, Rob, you're more of a man than Dennis, because he hasn't gone on Superior. You almost died there, and you know how to drive a stick. So
Kevin wasn't paying attention because he almost didn't make it through Algonquin.
Oh,
which time?
Huh?
Oh, well, you know what?
You mean you had more than one occasion like that, Rob?
No. I've been lucky.
Oh no.
I've got windbound in Wabakimi a few nights, but that was the worst one.
You know what, though? To die in Algonquin, like, I wouldn't tell anybody about it. But if I died in Lake Superior, I would make it the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who else is up for that?
No, you know what? That's it for the basement right now. But you know what, Kevin? Mosen Buzwal is asking why you're wearing so many ties, and this goes back, Mosen, to the green room. Kevin popped into the green room tonight, and he was looking all dapper, man. He had the dress shirt on that he's got on now, and he had a tie on. And I asked him, like, why are you all duded up? So, once you put water on the plant, it keeps growing, and that's what's happening with Kevin's ties right now. Put a little water on it, and it's going now.
You know what? No, what happened was I went to a wedding on the weekend, and I took a picture of myself all dressed up in this fancy hotel because that's where the wedding was. And a lot of people were like, wow, Kevin doesn't have a bandana and a hat on. Like, what? You got a suit on. I went, hey, I've worn a suit before, but nobody's seen that. One of the best ties I've ever got. I do collect ties, just like I collect books. There, that was given to me by one of the First Nations people up the road from my house. Yeah, they came and did a smudge here because I'll show you. My laneway where the dog is, there, right there. That's Chemung Lake. So my laneway is the old portage going up from Chemung, and I didn't know that when I bought this place. So when I got here, about a month in, First Nation elders came in. I put the flag up for them. We did a smudge. They gave me the tie. And they're like, you have no idea where you're living right now. I went, really? So every time I have to check the mail, I'm actually on the portage? Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, what
Good,
a fitting place to live, though, for a guy like Kevin Callan to actually live on a portage,
It's hell.
right?
It's hell.
Yeah.
Only when you got to shovel it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
The portage goes to where, though, Kevin? Goes from the lake across the street from your house to where?
No, it's a very debatable thing. So basically, Champlain supposedly went from Chemung Lake up through Peterborough along the Trent Severn when he went with the First Nations to attack the Iroquois. So no, it wasn't really proven. This is actually a really good story I've never really told before. So so basically, that was always there's Portage Mall that's up the road here, and that was all the idea that he portaged through there, but nobody really proved that. And Speedo Man, my buddy, so he came from England. He was a scuba diver, still a scuba diver, and he found an ancient pot in the Trent Severn, and that pot proved that the First Nations moved through here, that area. That's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
And so the federal government, the neighbors are looking at me now. The federal government came in and took the pot away from them because they're like, hey, thanks for finding this. You've now proven history. But so now he has a makeshift one in his house. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not sure why I'm telling that story, but it's kind of cool.
No, that's really interesting. But like I say, it's quite fitting that somebody like yourself actually lives on a portage trail, right?
Yeah, yeah. What was really kind of cool that night, to be quite honest, is Dee Whalen. She was the woman that was going across Canada at the time. She took 6 years to go across Canada, across the Trans-Canada Trail. I was a friend of hers, and she came here and lived here for a few days on the way through. The First Nations people came, and they did a smudge, and I put flags up for them. And I just moved here, and the whole entire neighborhood was, who the heck is this guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone again.
Yeah,
Rob,
it's you and I.
Rob, okay, let's tell a joke. Rob, what's your best joke? No?
God, no.
Okay,
Nope.
I got one. Okay, there's 3 pieces of string. Oh,
Welcome back.
okay. Is there anybody else?
No, I don't know. Let's see here. What I got
It's
here?
your last show, and it's just Rob and I. Like your show's gone to hell.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I can't even pass an invite because I'm on my phone, and it doesn't give me the ability to pass an invite out.
Really? Okay. Well, so people got to start asking questions then on the comment, and we got to. Yeah.
How
Rob
about,
will
how about if
answer
I
all
ask
the
a
questions.
question? I could ask everybody in the chat a question. Just curious to know. Do you prefer interviews with guests, YouTubers, or any outdoors personalities, or do you prefer shows that are based on education? Like winter camping shows and the meal planning and trip planning and stuff like that. What is your preference? Not to say I'm going to focus on one or the other, but I just like to know what everybody's preference is.
Good question.
Yeah,
I'll say both.
Both?
Really.
Yeah.
We're gaining different things from different shows.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Both have their merits. Yeah.
I really don't have one over the other.
We also have someone asking, what's your favorite episode by far, like the entire time? Ooh.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a few that were like real favorites because they really meant some big things to me. One being the interview with Les Stroud to start off this season. It was the second episode of this season. Reason being is because, to me, he was kind of a pioneer for this type of youth, like the YouTube generation for outdoorsy people, where he's out there recording his own stuff at the beginning, editing his own stuff like that. So a lot of us kind of follow his lead with what he's done, But just to have a big name like Les Stroud on the show was once again a real compliment to me. I was like fangirling for probably the first 5 minutes that he was on the show. To Les's credit, he didn't make it easy on me, because if anybody remembers that show, we actually started about 10 minutes late. And that's because I don't think he was aware of what Canoehound Adventures was, because everything went through his publicist. And I don't think he had ever seen the show or heard of the show. So I think he was treating it like sort of like it was a small event, just somebody wanting to ask them questions or what have you, right? And by the end of the show in the green room, and if you remember this, Kevin, he mentioned, he goes, "I definitely do it again. I didn't realize what you had here." And to me, that was like the ultimate compliment from Les Stroud. That was pretty cool.
High praise.
So what gets you up in the morning then, Dennis? So in fact,
making a real living.
Well, no, your partner should answer this more than you actually. But the idea of oh no, I've got another show to do. What have I done? Why did I even start YouTube in the first place? I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. I have no guest. I got to call Kevin again to help me out. This is wrong. Yeah. So what? So I actually think that does happen to you. Not that, but the other stuff. I think you get burnt out, and for good reason. But when it's all said and done, what triggers you to do another one? What's the carrot in front of you?
The same thing that made me start doing it was wanting to get to know the people I watch on YouTube a lot better. And then the whole educational thing, believe it or not, when we do these shows on winter camping or meal planning or trip planning and, what is safety or bear prevention and stuff like that, to me, it's I'm learning as well. I'm asking questions that not because I know the answers. I'm asking a lot of questions because I want the answers. You know what I mean? So to me, it's a learning curve for me as well. But another thing that keeps me going and doing this, and it's actually worked because I brought on my biggest fan, and I've always said that my YouTube videos were made. I do them, my trip videos, so that my grandkids or my daughters or my family and stuff could actually follow me. My 1.5-year-old grandson, if he sees me on TV, he stops. You know what I mean? Or he asks, he'll point at the TV and he'll go, "Papa, Papa." So he wants to watch it. It does, he doesn't know what we're talking about, and to me that's incredibly soul filling. You know what I mean? It makes me feel good on the inside that my grandkid is going to have sort of a record of what I'm doing. Right? It's like he's going to probably laugh at it when he gets older, right? And he realizes what I'm actually doing here. But no, that's something that keeps me going with it for sure.
That's cool. So it looks like majority of people are liking both, that you do the info and the guests. And I agree with Rob too. I think having both is a good idea. Having one or the other, maybe it's not so good as the other. But someone also asked, how can you be in the green room?
How can you be in the green room? Basically, it's almost by invitation only, and usually guests that are on the show are part of the green room. Just because they have access to the back entrance or to be on the show. When I do put the invite out on all my shows, I'll always put invites out there saying, I'd love to have you up on screen. There's your opportunity to actually get into the green room. And I'll tell you, sometimes, Kevin, the green room sometimes is a little more fun than the actual show, right? Yeah, it's when we all get to let our hair down and cut loose a little, and the potty mouths come out a little more, and the storytelling comes out a little more. So,
well, without getting anybody in trouble, what is the one moment in green room where once the green room stopped, you went to your wife and said, "I can't believe someone said that"?
Oh. You know what? I can't pick one thing out in particular because it happens so often. So sometimes, I'm just going to throw a couple examples out there. You remember the whole life jacket fiasco when the Baird boys were on, and how people were calling them out about when they're not wearing their life or their PFDs, and everybody has their own opinion when it comes to these type of things, and not to say anybody's right or wrong, because we're all individuals and we do as we please when it comes to this stuff. Mosquito, look at that. Black fly.
Nope, mosquito. I killed him.
Dinner.
Killed him big time.
We had a good heated conversation about that in not heated, but it was a pretty intense conversation about that. And comments that people have towards them, and it's like, sometimes there's a saying, I can't remember how the saying goes, but don't preach to the preacher type of thing.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, we've had a lot of really interesting, good green rooms. And you know what? Sometimes I'll tell everybody in the live chat too. You know, a lot of times the green room goes longer than the episode goes.
Oh my God! No, there's been times where the sun is rising and I have to go to work, and we're still in the green room.
Maybe not that bad, but yeah, we've had like 2-hour shows and had 4-hour green rooms.
Oh my Lord! And what's the meaning of life? Oh Lord!
Yeah. I got to step away for a minute, guys.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
But yeah, you know, so it's just a lot of fun when it comes into these different things, you know, that
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the green rooms have always been really special for me throughout my career. Like I when I did things on Canada AM or breakfast television or CBC radio, especially, there is it really is a green room, by the way. Like I don't know if everybody knows where well, probably not anymore, but it's a green room and you all gather before you're on. And I remember sitting beside 5440, all these great people. And if they were Canadian, not to knock anybody else, but if they're Canadian, pretty much humble people. Like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? And it's like 5 a.m. We're doing a morning show. 5440 is about to perform. They don't want to be there. And then we started chatting about stuff. And I found out that who were pallers? Not April Wine. Oh no, shoot. A whole bunch of bands there's a whole bunch of bands that were pallers, and we just talked about canoeing. But Margaret Atwood was one of the favorite of the green room. She's really harsh with critics, but in the green room, she would help you in a dime if you're a Canadian author. I've talked to her so many times in green rooms, and Pierre Burton, when he was around, he was great in the green room. Red green, like. So the green room is sort of one of those things where you've seen in your career too. It's like they are who they are, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, your show, I don't think anybody holds anything back in your show.
No, yeah, you know what? With the exception of like, you know, dropping any potty mouth and stuff like that, you know, and that slips out once in a while. But that's the one thing I think everybody kind of understands, that the show is basically. It's a community. It's a bunch of people having conversation and getting to know a bit more about everything that's kind of going on, right? And you know, we did have the one show which was probably one of the rare few shows that I've done, which is like kind of political, where I kind of dabble, and that was in the park fees. Remember that show?
Oh yes.
And that show really ruffled a lot of feathers on both sides of the fences. You know, we had people that were for it. We had people that were totally against it. People that had good reasons. People that had the most asinine reasons in the world, right? But ultimately, it raised a lot of awareness, and that was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. Do you find, Dennis, though, what makes you think of the next week? Is it, do I want to ruffle feathers? Do I want to give information because my numbers peak? Do I want to get a host on that I don't know anything about? Do I want to host on because I really like them and I really admire them, so I want them on? What's the key?
A lot of times it's when it comes to guests, I'd like to try and focus on guests that have something hot going on currently on YouTube. Something that people are watching, because when people are watching, they get intrigued and they want to learn more about the topic. Case in point, the boys from Northern Scavenger, you know, they did their trip there in Quebec into Labrador, finishing on the Gulf of St. Lawrence. They had just finished that series. It was a fantastic series of stuff that they had to go through, you know, portaging over a mountain and stuff. And that's when you want to be able to talk to these people about it as well. Viewers are fresh. It's fresh in their mind, and they want to know more about the trip than they've actually seen, right? Same thing with, like, you know, the Baird brothers doing the Manitoba trip. Same thing with, you know, Justin Barber and his stuff, you know, or it's about what people want to see at the time. You know what I mean? You want to see it now while it's happening. You don't want to see it. You don't want to hear about the war 6 months down the road. You want to know what's going on now.
Yeah.
right?
Okay, I got one question left for you because at 9 o'clock I actually have a work meeting. I actually have to go to. I'm not making this up, and I probably should take these off for that. Well, maybe I won't. But the last question for you is that what is next? What have you learned that you want to change? So you've done this for a while. You've done it for various reasons we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to be like Loverboy and do the old hits and not change anything, or do you want to do a new album with and be a totally different character?
There's a few different things that I kind of have in mind for next season. If next season is a full go. But it's going to take a lot more work. I've had a number of people reach out to me about trying to turn this into a bit of a podcast, or turning the audio into a podcast so that they could listen in their vehicles while they're driving. I know the least bit about that. I know absolutely nothing about doing podcasts, so it would take some research or a few beers with Sean Rowley and Derek Spesh from Paddling Adventures Radio, who have a fantastic paddling show as a podcast. So you know what, by all means check out their stuff. It's great entertainment, and they're like the Iron Man of podcasts when it comes to this thing that we do, enjoying the outdoors. So by all means check them out. But there's a few other things, maybe making the show a little more structured as far as timelines. Sometimes 2 hours is a long show. I like to keep the first hour to first 50 minutes to interview. And then the second half, I always call it overtime. And that's when we invite the guests up or people up, and we can chit chat, right? So maybe try and structure the show a little more so that we're a little more on time. But you know what? Sometimes you can't do it. How do you turn off a stream when you got over 150 people in there, and topic and the conversation is going good, and you hit the 2 hour and 15 minute mark? Like, how do you put the brakes on that? And that's what I got to do, is become a little more disciplined, like, CW Getz is for his show type of thing, right? So there's a lot to learn, a lot to do.
It's a double-edged sword with that too, because the word of podcasting too, because I do a lot of podcasts, is that you're pretty much given it's going to be an hour or 2 hours interview, where in the old days, I was on radio when I do my CBC bit, 3 minutes to 7 minutes, and you were darn lucky if you got 12 minutes of TV. Usually for TV, it was 3.5 minutes. And you would actually travel half a day, get a hotel, and then be on for 2.5 to 3.5 minutes on morning TV to do your thing. And I remember going home, I'm thinking, what was that? And where now we can, but you're also right, where after a while, who's listening now? Probably maybe Rob's family, friends and family are listening right now. But
there you go. Just like I said earlier.
But I do know that also when I travel, I listen to podcasts, or when I come home, I'll watch your show too if I have seen it before. And what's good about it, it's on forever, right? So you can watch that. I don't know whether that's good or bad. It depends if you can catch the audience or not, right? So
well, you know what? And this is just to let everybody know. I've had a few people tell me that they do listen in their vehicles. What they do is, if they have Bluetooth enabled stereo in their car, they just play the YouTube video and the volume goes right through the vehicle sound, right?
Yeah. So, a lot of people do that with my whiskey chats for sure. So,
I bet you that'd be a lot easier to do if they had like YouTube Premium or something like that, where there's no commercials, right? So you don't have to sit through those goofy 5-minute commercials. So.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go because I'm working in like, oh my god, in like 4 minutes. Okay. Rob, you're on. Take control, for the love of God. The guy's out of control.
Kevin, before you sign off, I you know what? I know we've talked about this before, but I really, really want to thank you for all you've done for the show. You know what? I have you on because you're a very enjoyable co-host to have on the show. I truly cherish, all the information and all that you've taught me over the years and over the last couple of years here on the show. And just be known that you are welcome on the show at absolutely any time. You know what? And it was so good to see you at the Toronto Outdoor Adventure Show too. I know, we chat like this. We've gotten to be pretty good friends, at least I think. And you know what? It means a lot, man. You know what? It's nice to be able to call you friend. So.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Dennis. We really need some time around the campfire on a canoe trip. So, because I think then you'll get to know my true self. Actually, I won't be wearing ties.
I leave Thursday night if you're interested for 4 days. So let's go.
Oh, you know what though? Actually, wait a minute. I might call you on that in 2 weeks from now. Andy wants to join us on the West Nipissing with Tim and I, and he hasn't found a partner yet. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
All right, got to go, and congratulations, and keep it going or not. Like, if you don't keep it going, we're not going to hate you, but keep it going because we love the enthusiasm and keep the connection going.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor? Do you still have a copy of the link to get in? Andy? Can you cut and paste it and drop it in the chat for me, and then maybe I can get another person or two up here.
Oh yeah. I can do that.
If not,
Rob,
I might
even Rob could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, Rob can do that. Yeah, but let me wait.
Hold on a minute.
Okay, I got to do this.
There we go.
So
I got my roadies working on the system for me. Thanks.
Yeah, I got to do this quick because I'm in a meeting in like 2 minutes. All right. Dennis there. Oh shoot! All right, hold on. We can do this.
Hope you're having better luck than I am.
All right, I got that. Here's the link. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you should be able to just cut and paste it right in there, and then anybody can just copy and paste it, and we'll get maybe 1 or 2 people up because we're actually 5 minutes away from show end anyways. But if we go into a little bit of overtime, that would be okay.
Okay, I just did it, Dennis. You got it?
Yeah.
I just put it.
And if anybody has any questions about the show, you know what? Feel free to post right now in the chat. I can read the chat here, and I would love to answer any questions that you might have about maybe a past episode or anything about the show or anything about my trips. Or I'd be happy to answer anything that anybody might have.
Okay,
Kevin?
I just posted it. I got to go because I got a meeting in 2 minutes for work, and I got to get rid of this. Good
Cheers,
luck.
buddy. Thanks very much.
Pleasure, Kevin.
Bye, Rob.
Our pleasure. Take care.
What
So,
know
Dan-
what, everybody? What a great guy he is. Kevin.
He is.
Kevin is such he's an outstanding individual. What you see is what you get with Kevin, and you know what? Nobody comes more sincere than him. It's he's a great dude. He's a great dude.
Done a lot for our sporting community.
Yeah. And you know what, Rob? I have to thank you too. When I put the casting call out there, I appreciate you replying to that there and wanting to be on the show again. It's been a long time, and it's great to hear that you're back and you're getting out there and paddling and stuff back out at
Starting
it.
to again. Like I said, it's about a 200K trip this year, but that's what I'm doing. What do you got planned for the summer? I said it's about a 200K trip this year, but
Okay, you know what, Pierre? If you could just shut off the volume on your YouTube feed, please, and I'll bring you right back in. The volume on YouTube, please. There we go. Just got to have the volume off on your YouTube feed, people, and just listen to the volume on StreamYard when you come in. You good now, Pierre? Thumbs up. Let's see here. And
hello,
Pierre. How you doing?
Hey, Pierre.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. You got us? No, you just need your YouTube volume up. Your
Okay, so can you hear me?
Camper 69 is asking, what big trips do you have planned for the summer? And give me 1 sec here. No, hold on a sec, Pierre. You know what? Big trips. Right now, I've got this weekend. I'm heading up north, just doing a 4-day jaunt. It's going to be my first paddle for the season. That's something I'm doing with my buddy Jay, who's my regular canoe partner. And then let's see here. We've already we're working on planning our August trip, and our August trip is going to be back up around the same area that we had our trip from hell last year, up around Indian Lake, going up to the Bisco area, Bisco tasting area, and we're going to be backtracking and doing some of the areas that we had did on our previous trip, our previous August trip. Reason being is because we didn't get to do a lot of fishing and stuff like that, and this year's trip is going to be a little less portaging, a little less intensive, and a lot more fishing. So that's kind of what we have planned for the our big August trip, but I hope to get in maybe a couple more trips here, late June, July, and into August, and of course September. Quick question here from Seasons of Serenity. How do I remove the hook from my finger? You had to be a smart ass, Daniel? Yeah, you try about 78 times and you cry a little and you curse a lot. So that's how you take a
with a lot of pain.
Yes. Let's see if we got Pierre's volume issues worked out here. How you doing, Pierre?
You good yourself?
Good. And we got no feedback. So how you doing, man? What can I do for you tonight?
Oh, well, like I said, I think it's because I had the YouTube playing in the background.
Yeah. If the YouTube volume is up, you'll always get the feedback, and that kind of sucks. But go by the actual YouTube, StreamYard. So what do you got planned for the summer, Pierre?
Well, actually, we ended up meeting you guys. We went to the Toronto camping show, so the outdoor show. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Met Kevin, got this book autographed. So that was pretty. It was kind of like one of those starstruck moments. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got to meet some of your other tunists from the Freak of Nature. We got to see them. We got to see Northern Scavengers. That was pretty cool. It's one of those things that. Being new in a backcountry camping, like I've been camping since I was 16 years old, but glamping, if you will, with a camper and whatnot. And always wanted to get into camping more in the backcountry. And then, like, again, seeing your show, getting into that, Tunis, Lexus and all that, watching their videos, seeing a lot more people out there, just amazing on how more confident you can be attempting to go into backcountry camping, and just by them giving you tips. The same thing with your channel, the guests you've been having on there, getting ideas on what to do, how to do it. It's just been awesome. Like it's just so much learning from getting tips and just how to do stuff. It just boosts your confidence, and I was super grateful of having, one, just what YouTube has done to, anything and everything, especially for the backcountry campers and all that.
Yeah.
So many people are getting into it that I think because of people like yourself, your show, and other YouTubers, that unbelievable how it gets getting people into backcountry camping.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's part of the reason why I do it, because just like you, I learn a ton by doing this show, and to be able to, why not all learn together? It's like one big happy classroom, right? So, and you know what? Being at that Toronto Outdoor Adventure Show, it was so cool for me myself to meet guys like Tunis and to run into Hap and Kevin and Alex from Northern Scavenger and Karina and so many others, even the Dutch Explorer, Callan, he was there as well, and a whole bunch of new up-and-coming YouTubers. Ontario Camping Couple were there, and just there were so many. Sorry if I met you and I missed you, but you know what? It was really cool meeting them. But on the same note, me being on this end of the screen and seeing all the people in the chat, and then somebody coming up to me from the chat and introducing themselves, it's as much of a thrill for me to meet you, because all I see is an icon and a name and a comment, right? I don't actually get to see people like this here, and especially with the COVID thing. But it's really cool to meet other like-minded people, and we all share the same interests. And you know what? There's not a comment that I get on any of my videos or on any of my shows that I do not reply to. Every single one, I think, is worthy of a response. It might be a short response or it might be a long one, right? It depends how it tickles me, right? But it's just it's awesome just to meet my viewers, because at the end of the day, I'm just, and the same with Kevin, and we're all just you. You know what I mean? We're all just you, or I just happen to fall upon doing this and people kind of taking interest. So it's humbling for me. It really is.
Yeah. And that's the one thing to put my 2 cents. What I found, like I said, same thing. I brought my daughters with us. We went to the show, and I remember my daughter saying, "Hey, Dad, that's the guy that we watch on YouTube, and look, he's right there." And it's like the whole thing is starstruck, and it's nice to see that. I'll say you guys are YouTube superstars, and to us, just to say that you say hello when I say, like, you look at us little people and to say hi to us and all that, it means a lot, because like I said, it shows that you guys are it's not gone to your head. You're normal like us, or you said it, but it feels great, right? It feels like meeting your somebody that you look up to, and then they talk to you. It just feels great, and it makes you happy being in this activity or sport, if you will, because of canoeing and whatnot. And it's awesome. It's awesome what you guys do, to be true, right? It is.
Sure. Well, thanks. After all, though, you know what? There's people out there that have done bigger and better trips than I, and look what Rob's getting ready to do this summer. So that's pretty cool. That's great stuff, man. I appreciate the compliments and stuff like that. It means a lot. And you know what? We'll hopefully see you for season 4.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome, Pierre. Thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, good night.
I'm gonna get up another guest here. I see we got a couple more in the basement. Let's see here. We got Norma Vint. I'm gonna bring you on, and I see Jerry, and we'll cut it at these two, just because we are.
Hold on, I have to get my volume. Apparently.
There we go. Do I have everybody in? Jerry, Norma. Okay, yeah, we got everybody. Hey, nice shirt there, Jerry. You fit better in yours than I fit in mine.
Cheers. Thanks.
I'm working on mine.
Where's the tie?
Yeah, where's the tie? Hey, how you doing, Jerry? What's going on tonight?
I'm not going to get a tie.
No, me neither.
I just want to say thanks, Dennis. Really enjoy the show. All the guests, all the outdoors camaraderie, and who am I to tell you how to run your show? You do a great job. I enjoy watching it all the time. Just have fun with it, Dennis, and don't let people persuade you to do anything other than have fun and enjoy yourself. And I think you'll continue with success. And just a big thank you. It's fun to watch.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know what? Nobody really tells me what to do, but I do ask for input, because it's if I know what you guys want to watch, I'll gladly try and muster up a show for it. For the most part, I try. You know what? Nobody really
tells me for a backdrop.
Nice. Somebody's got their YouTube volume on. I could hear the echo going there, but
I think that was me, and I fixed the problem.
Oh, way to go, Norma. Long time follower, Norma. How you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good. I'm actually pretty good. Getting pretty excited about the season if it would ever quit storming here.
Yeah. You're in Manitoba, right?
Yes, I'm in southwestern Manitoba.
Yeah.
And we have
You're
just
really
had
getting
one storm after another.
Oh,
you guys are really getting hit.
Yep. I have had 2 days where I could take my hammock down to the beach. But that's it.
Yeah.
I'm just east of Thunder Bay, and we're getting the edge of whatever you're getting. I feel sorry for you.
There are crops that are not going to get seeded this year because there's so much water.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is
it's
crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
Our weather patterns are certainly changing these days. It's not like it used to be when we were younger.
They sure are.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to pop in and say, Dennis, thank you so much for whatever you do. This has been the amazing thing for my life at this stage. Congratulations on 3 fantastic years.
Thank you.
I am getting ready to do my second trip with somebody that I met on the live stream.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. Yay. August, Quetico. Here we come.
Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome.
So I just want to say congratulations and thank you. You haven't just created a YouTube channel, you've created a community, and it is amazing, and I love it, and keep doing it. And everybody, if you haven't liked hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't become a member, become a member. It is worth it. There is so much in this channel that is so good for everybody that wants to get out there. So thank you, Dennis. Congratulations, Dennis, and continue on.
Thanks, Norma. And I have to thank you because you've been a channel member now for a couple of years, and the support is greatly appreciated. This whole YouTube thing, believe me, nobody becomes a YouTuber to get rich unless you're in the millions of subscribers, right?
Exactly.
And I always do say that. And when I say it, that it helps go towards producing the show. You know, StreamYard software. I just upgraded all my internet, as everybody can tell. Usually, it works great, with the exception of the power going out tonight. But I don't know if you remember, like 4 or 5 months ago, the issues I was having with internet. We finally got that all resolved.
Yeah, we have Starlink too, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, it's not Starlink. It's just finally the service provider who did what they were supposed to do and fixed the issue.
Well, we have Starlink finally the last little over a year, and it's been fantastic.
Great.
It's been amazing. Because we live in a dead zone, so
that's the Elon Musk system, isn't it?
You better believe it. And you know what? They can say whatever they want about Elon, but he is my hero.
I think he's a cool dude. I wish I had a 1/1000th of his fortune, but no.
Well,
whatever.
yeah, there's that. But you know, other than that stuff, the man is a genius.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Well, you know what? I appreciate you guys all popping into the stream. It does mean a lot. And you know what? Like I say, seeing your faces and your names over there all the time. Jerry, you're a channel member too. You just became a channel member not too long ago, right? So,
you know what, Dennis? Like I say, for the last 6 months, I caught on to your show, and I really enjoy watching all the talks and the guests and everything. So, thank you.
Well,
yeah, Dennis, thanks for doing what you do, man. Taking the time. We all appreciate it.
No, it's fun for me. It's fun for me. It really is. And you know what? I hope to be able to meet you all one day and really enjoy. You got a cooler of beer there?
No, I kept the generator out in case the power goes out again.
Don't feel bad, Jerry. Don't feel bad. We have one set up in our garage right now that's been there for half the winter.
I've got to tell you something. For years, I'm 60 years old, and I've been prepared most of my life. I always keep stuff around, and my wife of 40 years and my 2 daughters always rag me about having everything, except the last week. All of a sudden, I'm a genius. I'm Elon Musk.
Embrace the hero, Jerry. Embrace the hero.
I pulled out all the gadgets, the toasters, the propane, the jennies, the lanterns. And I couldn't help but make a comment. I said, I guess you're not going to bug me about owning all this stuff anymore.
Wow. Well, you know what? I could see I am running out of light here really quick. And
get the light out, Dennis.
I'm not seeing any light around the neighborhood at all. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna decay.
Come on.
Yeah, ours no, they're not on either. So, yeah, kind of weird. I can't even open the beer or the fridge to grab a beer. I don't want to take that chance. But you know what? I'm gonna draw the show to a close for this evening, you guys. But stick around. I'm gonna take you off the screen, but I'm gonna leave you in the green room, and then we'll carry on conversation here in a few moments, if that's cool.
I'll disappear. I'll be right back.
All righty. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you popping on.
Thanks.
All righty, so this is going to be slow. This is painful doing this on a cell phone. There we go. Anyways, you know what? I'm going to draw tonight's final episode to a close. I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining in tonight and making tonight a special night. This was fun. It went a lot different than I had planned, but it was fun nonetheless. Thanks to Kevin Callan, all the sponsors, and of course all the those of you that participated here towards the end of the show. Much appreciated. Just want to let you know we will be back in September, early September. I'm currently working on some preliminary talks with a bunch of different cool guests and maybe some old faces as well. We're going to be working on a lot of great topics, and we're shooting for another 32 episode season like we had this year. So if you're around, please do make sure you tune in when we hit back on the air. In the meantime, you know what? Follow us on Facebook at Canoehounds Outdoor Adventure Show. We're probably going to have a few impromptu shows throughout the summer. You never know. Some interesting things might happen throughout the summer that might warrant an episode, and a little pop-up show type of deal. And I would, of course, love to have you all on board with us. With that being said, as I always urge you, please do get outdoors, enjoy the outdoors, and keep the adventures alive. Have a great, safe summer, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.